be okay.
I'm sorry I don't do this. I like to think of myself as all grown up together, but every single time I talk to my father, I get this way.
So don't worry. So what, he called and...
Stuck it to me one more time.
What'd he say?
It's not what he says. It's just who he is.
Alex, honey, you're wasting your time.
Asa.
I used to leave important papers lying around. Back in the days when I trusted my wife.
Darling, I was just tidying up a bit since Jessica and her boyfriend Christian are coming over for dinner. I thought our home should be in order, even if our lives are not.
Fine, fine. If this will stop you from going through my papers, I'll tell you what I'm up to. Now you listen very carefully, because this could change the course of history.
Thornhart, I know this is hard, but we have to keep going.
Officer, I'm trying, but I feel like I turned myself inside out. I've nothing left.
Let's keep going, okay? Now, we covered your days in Belfast, through to the point where your friend Siobhan is shot. Let's move on to Inniscrag. You took a bus to the coast, a ferry over. You saw no one following you till you got to the island. Now, how did you just happen to pick the inn where Marty Saybrook was staying?
I went to Inniscrag because Siobhan asked me to with her dying breath. And now I wish she'd sent me anywhere else on earth but that godforsaken rock.
Now, most guys wouldn't even go for that rebound, Jimmy. I'm real proud of you.
You think my wrist is broken?
You know what? I don't know, but we'll have a doctor check it out. If we can find a doctor. Tell you what, let's go back to the waiting room.
No,
and wait
Dylan.
a sec. Marty, I'm busy right now.
There should be a doctor here any minute. If you just hold on, I really need to talk to you. Please.
Man, Harrison, when you said you were taking me someplace, I thought you meant like South Philly or something. Not some ski lodge where it's like -50 outside. You gotta be kidding me.
What's the matter, Vega? Afraid of a little snow?
It wasn't that steep coming up.
That's the great thing about skiing. It's downhill all the way.
Yeah, well, the catch is, I've never skied before. And that's no slope, that's a cliff. Fine. If you're going over the edge, then I'm right behind you.
Buchanan, come to a fault. Please, come in.
Hi, Nigel. Do you remember Christian Vega?
Of course, Mr. Vega. Welcome.
Damn it, stop beating around the bush, you said you would. Tell me now, please. Tell me.
See, this is the result of not enough sex, woman. You get way too impatient.
Right. Whose fault is that exactly?
If you'll excuse me, I'll just let Mr. and Mrs. Buchanan know they're not alone.
Christian, my Grandma Alex made this huge big deal about inviting us over to dinner. I didn't know how to get out of it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, I kind of like the mayor. I mean, and your grandpa's not so bad either.
Well, it's just that tonight I kind of wanted to talk to you about something really important. But it can wait. It's okay.
No, wait a second. Why don't you just tell me now? I mean, we're alone for a second anyway. Come on, tell me. What is it? Do you want me to model for you? Do you want Alex to model for you?
Oh, yeah. Nice.
What is it? Tell me.
No.
And Nigel, tell the kids that we're dressing. No, better yet, tell the kids that Asa is about to do something that will change the course of history, and his impatient wife is trying to find out what and how.
Okay, Alex, I'll make it very short and sweet. I'm planning on acquiring some waterfront property to develop.
That's not history-making.
The way I'm going to develop it, you can bet the farm. The thing is, I'm going to need a couple of very tricky zoning variances. But that's all I'm going to tell you. Why? Because you are the mayor, and we must protect your deniability.
Darling, you know that I am the queen of denial, remember? Anything that you tell me will never come out of these lips that you haven't tasted in quite a long time. How long has it been?
Oh, my God, woman. I mean, don't you ever give up?
No.
All right. Remember the time that you said you would like to buy Monaco? Well, if you hang in there, with the loose change, you'll be able to buy a dozen little countries and use Monaco as a walk-in closet. Kids, we're as dressed as we'll ever be. Entrez-vous.
For God's sake, officer, this is really very simple. You don't need a PhD to understand it. There's a man called Chief Inspector Bass. He's supposed to be a good guy, but he's not. He's a bad guy. He's with a group called the Men of 21.
Terrorists.
Exactly. And somebody's going to be assassinated by this group of the Men of 21. And the code for the killing is hidden.
In the music.
Right.
Ah.
Now, Siobhan got a hold of that music, and that's why she was gunned down. But before she died, she managed to give the music to me. She told me to go to Inniscrag and give the music to a man I'd never met, Inspector Eamon Gwilligan.
Right. We talked about that. I got that on tape. Okay, let's just pick it up from there.
She died right there and then in my arms. And there's nothing I could do. I heard the sirens. So I ran. I ran outside. I grabbed the music. I ran outside. I jumped on the bus. And I thought I was safe. But when I got off the ferry in Inniscrag, I noticed that there was 2 men watching me. So I took off. There was no Gwilligan where she said he'd be. And those 2 men were still on my back, so I wound up at the Wild Swan. And that's where I saw Margaret for the first time. You know, it's a wonder she didn't scream, because I just ran over there and I grabbed her. And then I kissed her until the men who were after me had left.
And Marty Saybrook saw these 2 men.
How many times do I have to say it? I want Margaret Saybrook left out of this.
I'm afraid that's not possible, okay? Not anymore.
Jimmy's a real gutsy ball player. See, he was going up for a rebound against these taller guys, and that's when his wrist got jammed up, so.
I should have had it.
Next time. Shemp? Well, you've got a little swelling there. We need to take an x-ray and then see what the doctor says, okay? Let's go.
Thank you, Sheila. Oh, and in case you didn't know it, Andy already talked to me.
Can I have a minute, please? Just one. I know how much I've hurt you. And I know that it might be a long time before you can understand what happened in Ireland and why I didn't tell you the whole story right away.
Why didn't you?
I knew how much it would hurt you. And it would wreck any chance that we might have. I know you must feel really far away from me right now, but I think we can find a way back to each other. I mean, I have to think that. If you could just find it in your heart to forgive me. If we could just go back to planning the wedding. I promise you, I will never, ever hurt you like that, I swear. Now just give me a chance to love you again.
The way I feel, I don't know what to say to you.
Oh, boy. I really didn't undo your shirt. I mean, not only did I soak you, but I got mascara all over you. You know what? We need to put this in warm water before it sets.
What is with you? You were always trying to take my clothes off.
The last time it was your fault because you didn't duck when I threw the pipe, but this is my fault, so let me
Hey,
help you
Maggie,
with this.
would you stop, please? Stop.
Boy, I can't leave you two alone for a minute.
It's not what it looks like.
No, Andrew, I was just trying to wash your shirt.
Yeah.
Say by the phone.
Yeah, fine.
Hi. Hey,
Hello.
how are you doing?
Come on in. Thank you.
Good to see you. Miss Green, my old dancing partner.
Hello, Max.
Hey,
It's
do
a
you
small
do?
world, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Carpenter, Madison Green.
Huh.
Nice
Hi.
to meet you, Miss Green.
Reverend?
Oh,
No. Call me Max.
call me Andrew.
That's the deal.
Hey, something to drink?
Yeah.
Sparkling water, I recall, with a twist.
Very good. Oh, and Max, have a little on your shirt right there.
Madison's a consultant for Buchanan Enterprise.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, in fact, her area of expertise is real estate acquisition. I got to tell you, this lady is something else.
Well, as long as the compliments are flying, please let me say that Cord is going to be a brilliant CEO.
Of course.
His only problem is, I was telling him on the way over, he's just way too nice. Great people skills. He just needs to learn to bottom line a little faster, but that I can teach him. Then we promote the go-getters out with the dead one in the office. Right, Cord?
Barracudas over the little minnows.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
I'm Andrew's cousin, Maggie Carpenter.
And you are?
You mean, what do I do? Right, I'm a teacher.
And don't forget also a professional house guest.
Right.
Not to mention a whiz at Dirty Laundry. Here you are.
Thank you.
Listen, let me put these coats away. You guys make yourselves at home inside, okay?
Thanks.
How you doing, man? I'm doing very well.
Ah, Tina. Hi.
Hi.
What can I do for you?
Well, I was hoping I could do something for you. I realized it's the anniversary of your father's death, and Cassie's away in England, and you're all alone at a time like this. I thought I would bring you a home-cooked meal and a friendly face. Mind if I come in?
All right, if these don't work, there are some more in the back.
All right, but do you want to tell me what we're doing here? I mean, in this abandoned hotel. Isn't this breaking and entering?
Who, me? I'm a cop, remember? I had keys. This place belongs to my brother, Max. Sit down. Give me a plate. It used to be Luna's favorite place. The twins were even born here. I guess Max just doesn't have the heart to open it up to the public.
Well, I wonder what it's like to own a whole mountain. I've been up here exactly once. For a week in a fresh air camp. And I got poison ivy.
Okay, let's see if these are comfortable.
Yeah, they're fine. But, do you want to clue me in when I'm doing like a zillion miles an hour down the mountain? How do I stop?
It's really simple. Okay, what you do is you point your toes together like this and make a V, and it's called a snowplow. And later, when you get really gung-ho, I'll show you how you just kind of twist your hips and you pull your skis together.
Like this?
No, let me show you. You just kind of, okay, twist here. You want to pull this in together. It'll make more sense when you come outside.
Yeah, no problem. I'll catch on. And then I bet I don't think about stopping. So what are we waiting for, huh? Let's do it before it gets too dark.
Hey, wait for me,
You don't have to answer me right now. I just wanted you to know how I feel. So now you know. I love you. And I would still like to be your wife if you'll have me.
Dylan, can you speak to the doctor? He said Jimmy's wrist isn't bad, but he wants to make sure you restrict his physical activity for a day or two.
All right, right behind you, Sheila.
Marty, excuse me. I know this isn't a great time. I need your help right now.
This is about Patrick Thornhart. No.
Please, just hear me out, okay? I understand how you feel about him. I've had my doubts myself. But the more that I hear his story, the more everything starts to add up.
How many ways can I say this? I don't care. I do not care. I don't care.
Would you care if I told you there is a terrorist organization called the Men of 21, and they are planning to assassinate someone?
No, you can't bring me back into this, Bo.
Look, I wouldn't ask you unless I absolutely had to. And I do. Now, you promised me that you were going to write down that music, right? Now, if you and Thornhart, if you put your heads together, you just might save someone's life. Or at least we could find out who the target is, and when, and where.
Wait, were you telling me that all this time that I thought Patrick Thornhart was lying to me, he was telling the truth? That Bass is a terrorist?
Bass has definitely been lying about a lot of things. I don't think that guy is on the up and up at all.
So he really does want to kill Patrick because he knows too much.
You smelled it?
Yes. Lovely.
Well, I made it. It's lasagna.
Oh.
Thought we could have supper together, you and I. But if this isn't a good time, I
No,
come back.
it's fine. Just a few people stopped by, that's all. And Maggie made some fried chicken.
Is that Cord?
Yeah.
So, the farmer says to the salesman,
What's time to a pig?
What is time to a pig?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Are you kidding me? Time to a pig.
time to a pig.
Pig!
I don't get it.
Madison, don't worry. It didn't go over your head. It went under
Oh,
it.
come
Like
on.
4 feet under it.
Thank you, Madison.
Andrew, this isn't just some people dropping by. This is a party. Why did you let me barge in? Hey, Cord. Oh, boy, I'll just sink to the floor right now.
No, Tina, you're welcome here anytime. You know that, and I think you know everybody. That's Madison Green over there. That would be Cord's consultant.
Hi, yeah, we met. Club Indigo, you were having some sort of emergency that only your ex-husband could solve.
Well, yes, he knows me very well. We were married 3 times.
And divorced 3 times, too, which is actually the critical fact here.
Right, because that shows persistence. I like that in a man.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
She likes that.
That must be the pizza to go with the fried chicken.
Sorry.
Kelly.
I don't have a key yet.
What do you reconsider moving in here, or?
Yeah, didn't Maggie tell you? I moved back in late last night. But see, I am so totally on my best behavior, you didn't even notice.
Do you suppose we could take a break? I could really do with taking a shower, going for a walk or something. I need to clear my head, all right?
Let's just pin down a few more details here. Like why you thought those 2 men following you were not police officers.
Well, it took a while because I was expecting someone to be following me, and they could have been cops. Shaban was dead. I ran out of there, and my fingerprints were all over the place.
All right. So these 2 men, they track you down to the inn, and you dodged them at first?
That's right. But they came back, and that's when I had to impose on Miss Margaret Saybrook a second time. I climbed the drain pipe up to her room, and I begged her not to give me away, but then they knocked on her door, and I went out the window again. You know, it was Margaret who first saw that the men had guns, and she knew that Irish coppers weren't supposed to So that's when she decided to cover for me. And if she hadn't, I'd be a dead man by now.
What about Marty? Did you consider the fact that you were putting her in danger?
For God's sake, I wasn't considering anything. I was just trying to survive, that's all, officer. I thought it was going to be over right there and then. If I'd known the kind of trouble I'd be putting Margaret in,
Oh, I can't believe you're saying this.
I know, but Hank Gannon thinks the same thing, Marty. Now, something terrible is going to go down if we don't find a way to stop it. Now, I know I have no right to ask you to do this, but I'm asking. Will you help us?
I already have.
Look, we need that music. We also need a written record of everything that you remember. And there is something else. I think it's possible that Bass's men are watching you. And that means you're in danger. In fact, when we finish talking here, I don't want you to go back to your house.
What do you mean? Where should I go?
To the safe house where we're keeping Thornhart. It's up in the mountains.
No! No, I'm not losing my home. I've already lost my fiancé. I'm trying to keep my head above water in med school. My life is in pieces. Now you want me to go to a mountaintop for God knows how long with the man who put me in danger?
If we don't stop the men of 21, an innocent person could get killed. You want that blood on your hands?
Do you know what I want? I want to wake up and have this nightmare gone. Is that possible? I don't think so.
I think it is. But you have to trust me.
You're saying men are watching me?
Yes. And we have to make them believe that you've left town. So here's what I want you to do. When we finish talking here, I'm gonna leave. You wait for a few minutes and you get in the elevator. Alone. You take it down to the kitchen level. Then you go out the service entrance. I'll be waiting there for you. I'll pick you up. Marty, look, I'm counting on you. Don't let me down.
Christian, it was so wonderful that you could join us for a humble meal.
Thank you. It was great. All 8 courses of it.
Thank you. I do have to admit that I had an ulterior motive for inviting you for dinner this evening. You know, I'm preparing for my gala inauguration. And, well, I thought maybe since you come from such a colorful culture, that maybe you and your little friends could do a native song or a dance or whatever you Puerto Ricans do to celebrate.
Alex, we're in high school. Remember, not show and tell anymore.
Jess, it's okay. I'm sure that all of my little Puerto Rican friends from Angel's Grove get quite a kick out of it.
Oh, good.
And you do have a lot of friends there, you know? I mean, they do know you were the one who paid for the statue.
Mm. Yeah, that is true. If it wasn't for you and Grandpa.
No, honey. Some lady here had all the vision. Alex is gonna make the best mayor Lambie's ever had. Come to think of it, anybody named Buchanan gonna have a banner year.
Oh, and speaking of banners, I want thousands and thousands of banners lining the route that I take to my inauguration. So, Christian, if you could, please take a look at the sample of the banner that I had my seamstress put together. It's in the library. I am just in desperate need of some artistic feedback.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I better show you where the library is.
Thank you. Fine. Take your time. All right, Asa. You want me to use my power to get you zoning variances that will bring you enough money to buy Monaco. What kind of a project are you talking about? And how does this tie in with that Atlantis thing?
Remember the magic word, Alex. Deniability. You are a public servant. You gotta be able to say you know nothing about your husband's business dealings.
I will be more than happy to say that I'm an ignoramus. I just do not want it to be true. Now, you need to tell me it's... Oh, you're back so soon. What did you think of my banner?
I thought it was great. Except for the part, well, it's just how it's put together. See, the eye can't focus on red and blue if they're side by side.
Isn't that fascinating? Let's go take a look at it, darling.
I've already seen it.
Yes, I know, but you haven't told me anything. Excuse us?
Sure.
No, the carriage house was just not working out. I mean, I am fond of Joey and all, but he finds a pair of my pantyhose in the microwave, and it's like the end of the world to him. And I'm like, would you please just get over it? You know?
No, Maggie, come here, Maggie. You didn't tell me that Kelly moved into the house.
Yeah, she did. It's hot. This is hot. This is very hot. Oh. You did say it was okay, and I was welcome any time, right?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, your family.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pig is eating so much that he just doesn't know about
It's just
what
the fact
time
that it
is.
is
or
a
the-
pig. And
Oh,
speaking of pig, I'm
okay.
about to make one out of myself because I love Southern home cooking. Tell you what, let me freshen up your drink and I'll
All
have
right.
you see it.
Thank you.
Chicken, Miss Green?
No, thank you.
Oh, now see, you're gonna have to learn to love deep fat. Gorgeous loves it. The richer, the better. Just like my lasagna. You know, I made that with 3 cheeses.
Really? Well, this may be difficult for you to understand, Tina, but Cord and I have a lot more in common than deep-fried lard balls.
Sports.
For example, you know, we both share a very fierce competitive edge.
Cord has an edge.
Absolutely. Rock climbing, hang gliding, scuba diving, anything with that red, raw, dangerous feeling turns us both on.
Excuse me.
Sure, you finished?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Cord, I hate to say this again, but this woman is not what you're looking for.
Why is that, Tina? Because she's attractive and smart and happens to think the same things about me? You know, you mentioned before this couples therapy.
Yes.
You know, I'm taking Madison out. Maybe we're like a couple now, and I gotta tell you, if this is your idea of therapy, I'm all for it. Sign me up for more.
Your first time out, you go straight down the mountain, no stops, no turns, and you didn't fall down. I couldn't even take my eyes off of you.
That's because most of the time I look like this. And I didn't stop because I didn't know how. So, why don't you show me how that, turn thing looks? Where you, twist your hips.
Not so hard. See, it's more just kind of you turn, and then you want to dig in with the down edge. This is really silly. They're natural.
No, what, I did was beginner's luck. Watching you go down the mountain, you were beautiful. You teach me how to move like that. I'll teach you a couple moves of my own. There's a few Latin dances, and I could always use a partner.
I am.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just that it's kind of late, and I think that we should get back to Landview.
It's been snowing for the last hour, and it's, coming down pretty hard. I don't think we should be driving in this, do you? I think maybe we should stay put and see what happens.
Oh, I wish I bought some sandwiches or something. Now I'm starved. All I could find was some frozen turkey chili, some gooey asparagus spears, a can of beans, some cheese in a can, and some soy sauce. Go ahead and look, but I think it's hopeless.
A chef can rise to any challenge. Besides, if we're gonna play Pioneers on the Prairie, believe it or not, people used to cook right here. So, let's open up this asparagus. soy sauce, and a can of beans, and you go into the kitchen and you get me every spice you can find, and we'll cook the mother of all meals.
I feel like I'm watching an artist work.
Yeah, right.
Really, you are. You know it. I just wish that the bank would have given you the money for the loan so you could buy the diner. There's got to be some other way, you know, maybe a government loan or something.
Don't worry about it, Andy. Because when I want something real bad, I get it.
I'll keep that in mind, Vega.
Good. Now, go get me those spices.
You think Alex and your grandpa forgot we're here?
You never know with those two. But, we are alone, so why don't you tell me what you needed to tell me before?
Well, it's just that it's kind of a big deal. And I don't want to get interrupted.
Okay, well, I have something to tell you. There's this guy in my English class, Artie Windsor. He asked me to the Valentine's dance.
And what did you say?
I said no, because I was kind of hoping you'd want to take me.
I do. I do. So look, forget about Marty Windsor or
Artie.
whatever. Just forget about him. Just, you're coming with me.
Great, but why didn't you ask me before?
Because I want a lot more than a date. I don't just want you to go with me. I want you to go with me, period. Just you and me. And nobody else. So what do you say?
Christian, you were totally right. How about if my name was in red and the background was in midnight black?
Patrick, about that sheet music Siobhan gave you?
If I knew what that ditty meant, I wouldn't be here now, would I?
All clear. Commissioner Buchanan.
About time, too. Sure took you long enough, Commissioner. What the bloody hell is she doing here? I thought you were gonna protect her.
Oh, I am. And you're going to help me by figuring out who the men of 21 plan to assassinate.
Are you just trying to torture me? I told you, I don't know.
Well, maybe the two of you do if you work together on this, see? Starting right here, right now, for as long as it takes.
Everybody put the names in.
Here we
Names
go.
in the bowl.
Okay.
All right, good.
All right, there we go.
I just want you to know that I'm really glad you took Frankie for his hearing test, and I'm happy that the results were encouraging.
Well, better than that. Frankie is fine. I'm cool. And you're forgiven for all your meddling. Just one thing. Try not to let it happen again. Go ahead.
Oh, I randomly draw the name for my charade part. It's you, Quartz. Now look, does this prove that we have sublimated psychic bond or what?
I think that definitely falls into the or what category.
Well. Looks like I drew you, Max.
There is a God.
Okay, well, that means you're stuck with me, cuz.
Yep, that's fine with me because we're gonna clean up the floor with them.
Well, you know, don't anyone give me a second thought. I hate charades. I mean, bourgeois boredom.
Maggie, you really cook that food, or you like dinner?
You two kids Take care going home, you hear?
Yeah, and Christian, I just can't wait to redo my banners with you.
I hope it comes together.
It will.
Thanks again for having us.
You bet. Thanks for coming. And come back more often, you two, okay? Thanks. Be careful. So, Asa.
Save your breath, sweetheart. You know as much as you'll ever know about my new business project. Good night, sweetheart.
Want a bet?
All right, Jess, that's it. I am not going to move from this spot until you answer my question, okay? Yes or no? Are you going to go with me?
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Is the curtain moving? Alex could have been snooping around.
But you're happy, right?
Chris, I've never been so happy my whole entire life. Come on, let's get out of here. I want to tell everybody.
Can't believe you cooked that up out of nothing. It was delicious.
Well, sometimes I get inspired. It makes a difference on who you're cooking for. Besides, I owe you one. You really came through on your promise.
What promise is that?
Taking me someplace I've never been before.
Are we there?
Just around the bend.
Whoa there. Thought they were just gonna tape that thing.
Yeah, the doctor said it turned out to be a pretty bad sprain. But nothing's broken. You should be okay.
Oh, that's good.
How soon can I play again?
Well, like the doctor said, as soon as they say you're ready to. Hey, but don't sweat it. I'll save that starting spot for you.
I better go call my mom.
Okay, good idea. Tell you what, I'll give you a quarter. Get up there. And do me a favor. First tell her you're fine before you tell her you're in the hospital. All right? Okay. Okay. Sheila, you seen Marty?
Maybe you can get her at home. I saw her a while ago. She's probably buried in medical books. I know she has an exam coming up, a big one.
Margaret doesn't know anything, and I don't know enough, just bits and pieces.
Look, Patrick, I've stuck my neck way out for you because I thought you were telling the truth. Now, if you're not, I'm real close to obstructing justice by hiding you from the Irish Special Branch. Now, if there is an assassination plot, and if we can't figure out who the target is, then the killers will probably get away with it. And then they're going to come after you, and they're going to come after Marty. Now, is that what you want? Look, it's not snowing in Landview right now. I gotta go there for a meeting while the roads are still clear, and then I'm coming right back. Now, while I'm gone, why don't you two work on the music? Okay, Marty, I need you to transcribe the music. Look, will you two please just try to do that? Try to put your differences aside and just work together? If you give me anything at all, one little tiny clue, believe me, I will run with it as far as I can go. Emilio, can I talk to you for a second?